gets, and we're only halfway through the year. A lot of stuff going on in our city, and if you look through our country right now, there's a lot of divisiveness going on, a lot of issues. We've been meeting the last week with several of the pastors and other groups in East Winter Garden regarding this issue, and we have agreed and planned on having a rally outside of City Hall Saturday morning. It'll be from 11 o'clock in the morning till 2 p.m. in the afternoon. The idea of this rally is for positive and bringing people together for positive change. It's going to be pretty much like a unity rally. We understand there's a lot of people out there in anger, a lot of people upset. There's a lot of issues in our country that need to be dealt with. This rally will be the beginning of a process. We thought when we start this process, the best way to begin is to begin on a positive note. We know subsequent to this, we're going to have several meetings, and we're going to begin meetings, form committees within the community to meet to discuss some of the ongoing issues within the community. I've talked to several residents, and they've shared stories with me. And if you're in the East Winter Garden community, there's many people there that they don't, at this point, do not feel comfortable with the police, and we don't like that feeling. A community should feel that the police are there to protect them and work for them, and people should not be in a situation where they feel uncomfortable. So subsequent to this meeting, we will follow it up with another rally within East Winter Garden at Xanders Park. Subsequent to that, we're going to begin meetings. Chief and I have discussed this. We're going to begin meetings with the community, and we're going to look to make some substantive change with the relationship between the police and the community, and more so than that, with all of our government agencies in the community. We'll expand it. Our primary focus will be police, but we're going to look at it with a bigger picture. When we go forward with these meetings, we're going to make sure we're inclusive and include as many and all groups that we can. And we will include people from outside of East Winter Garden. I'm sure there may be people in other places in Winter Garden that may also have issues. But we'd like to invite you to come. Many of the pastors will be speaking from East Winter Garden, plus some other areas, plus many other speakers will be speaking. And we feel it'll be peaceful. We do not anticipate any issues. As you may or may not know, when you start looking at some of these rallies, there are people from the outside that come in and try to infiltrate just to make protesters and people look bad and just to stir up trouble. We don't anticipate that, but you never know what may happen. But it'll be this Saturday, and we think it's a first step in making some positive change within the community, so I just want to invite you and let you know about that.
Thank you.
Any questions? Or
Questions?
Pastor Snell, I think Pastor Snell is one of the preachers. He would like to say a few words.
Okay, absolutely, Pastor.
Thank you. Xerxes Snell, I'm the pastor for the 9th Street Church of Christ here in Winter Garden. And as, of course, Pastor Stevenson was with us, but he had another appointment at 7:15. But as Mike said, our objective is just to come together and try to bring about some peace and solidarity within the residents of our city. And so this march is exactly what Mike mentioned. It's what we call on our flyer, it's a peace march. We're not, trying to get out and protest anything. We want to come together and we want to unify one another, and we want to come together and we want to pray for our city, pray for our nation. And that's the main objective as pastors, faith leaders, that we said from the beginning. If there's any time that we need prayer, we need it right now. If my people will call by my name, humble themselves and pray, God said, and we know that God is able to heal our land. And right now we need a lot of healing in this land. We need a lot of healing in our nation. We need a lot of healing in our city. And so the purpose of this march is to bring about some solidarity, bring about some unity, and hopefully we can make some new friendships and restore perhaps some relationships that have been perhaps been broken, so that we can move forward and have a better city for all of us. So we're looking forward to it. We hope that everybody will join in. We have T-shirts that will be on sale at the event, and it says Winter Garden Peace March. Hashtag Winter Garden Unite. So these are the t-shirts. They'll be on sale for $10. And we'll be selling those over at Veterans Park, where we're going to start the march. And so we hope, again, that you'll join in with us, and we're looking forward to having a great time. And we know that the weather is supposed to be a little inclement at some point, but hopefully we can get in everything before the weather starts getting bad. Lord willing, we're planning on starting around 11 o'clock. We originally wanted to start at noon, but because of the weather, it's supposed to be some showers in the afternoon, we wanted to kind of push it up an hour and hopefully get everything in before the rain comes in. But that's basically all that I have. And again, we just appreciate your support, and we're looking forward to Saturday.
We are too. Thank you, Pastor.
So that's 11 o'clock at Veterans Park?
Yes, 11 o'clock at Veterans Park and down there by south of the softball fields in the big area there with the trees. It'll all be marked out there where you can park. And I just want to emphasize once again that this is just not a one-time have a rally and everything's over. I realize there's a lot of healing, a lot of things that need to be done and changed. This is the beginning of a process to make substantive change in the community. I just wanted to emphasize that. Thank you.
Now we'll get to, well, is this on this? Or
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
My name is Marlene Jefferson. I live at,
Yeah.
I live at 14750 Woodard Cove, Winter Garden, Florida. I was born in Winter Garden in 1955. I'm a fourth generation Winter Garden resident, retired from the Department of Corrections and Juvenile Justice after 34 years with the state of Florida. And I am really looking forward to this rally. Like I said, I've lived in Winter Garden all my life, and change is coming whether we want it or not. And I would just like to be a part of the change. It's not a white thing, it's not a black thing, it's a people thing. We are one Winter Garden. It's kind of what my t-shirt said as part of the Martin Luther King parade that we had here. We are one Winter Garden, and we are brother's keeper. I think I have a name down for something else, but this is really what I want to talk about. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you.
Now we'll move to matters of citizens of Winter Garden. And for those that want to call in, once again, the number is 407-576-1792.
Yes, we do. Mayor, have three additional names here. Joseph Richardson.
Good evening, Joseph Richardson. I'm very glad to hear about this rally going on, and I hope that you'll, it sounds like my proposal here might dovetail with this. I hope so. It has been an eventful couple of weeks, the last couple of weeks. The protests sparked by the murder of George Floyd have been inspiring to watch as they spread around the country and the world. Awareness of the issues has increased dramatically, and tangible steps are being taken in many places to address racial injustice and inequity. I'm here tonight to ask Winter Garden to take one of these positive, constructive steps toward a solution, not because there have been any specific problems here. On the contrary, I'm not aware of any questionable use of force incidents in the time that I've lived here. But we do have a sizable minority community with about 25% Hispanic, 15% Black, and another 10% Asian and other minorities. We should be sensitive to the situation and proactive. My Brother's Keepers Alliance is calling on mayors all over the country to take a pledge to help combat systemic racism. Here is a snippet from their website. Quote, more than 1,000 people are killed by police every year in America, and Black people are 3 times more likely to be killed than white people. We can take steps and make reforms to combat police violence and systemic racism within law enforcement. Together we can work to redefine public safety so that it recognizes the humanity and dignity of every person. Unquote. The pledge is to commit to 4 tasks. 1, to review the use of police force policies. 2, to engage your communities by including a diverse range of input, experiences, and stories in your review. 3, report the findings of your review to the community and seek feedback. And 4, reform your community's police use of force policies. Some of the cities who have already committed to this pledge are Atlanta, Georgia, Reno, Nevada, Bloomfield, New Jersey, Salem, Massachusetts, Chattanooga, Tennessee, Pittsburgh, San Francisco, Savannah, and many, many others, including Orlando this week. I hope you will not rush off this suggestion thinking we don't need to do this because Winter Garden hasn't had any newsworthy incidents. The point is for Winter Garden to be proactive, transparent, and to show that it values every individual in this community and to show that it cares about systemic racism. I hope that all commissioners see this as a positive thing and will support this pledge. Thank you.
I believe that's Adam Hartnett.
Hi, my name's Adam. I'm gonna move this. Adam Hartnett. I live at 341 East Maple Street in Winter Garden. And I wanted to speak today in support of the My Brother's Keeper Alliance and for Winter Garden to take that pledge. I also wanted to speak a little bit on some further action that we can take. I'm part of another alliance, the state of Florida wide, called the Freedom for Florida Alliance. And I did send a letter in the form of an email to our police chief, Steve Graham, as well as a couple other captains a week ago. Haven't heard back yet. But I wanted to say that I know I, as well as many other people, have been shaken to our core by the state of our nation currently. You can see by simply taking a look around us that there is a multitude of Americans who are outraged by the way that police forces across the country have taken advantage of the power given to them to protect, defend, and serve. And in the wake of the tragic murder of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Tony McDade, and countless other Black Americans, I stand in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement. I understand that historically, our practice of policing was born out of a racist system that sought to keep Black men and women enslaved, and that this racist undertone has not been fully erased from the policing system we have today, even here in Winter Garden, resulting in higher rates in arrests, incarcerations, and deaths for Black Americans. It's clear that we need to reform our policing and criminal justice systems totally in every community, including here. So in an effort to seek accountability from these broken structures, I have prepared a demand letter that I sent to the police chiefs, and I'm willing to send to each of you, the commissioners, as well to see. But just to give you a brief recap, some of the requests include to demilitarize the law enforcement offices, to revise, strengthen, and publicly release the use of force policy as requested in the My Brother's Keeper pledge, to provide de-escalation and racial bias training for the police department on an ongoing basis, not just single or a few times, ensure accountability through civilian oversight boards so that we the people can say how the police is able to move through our community, to have a mandatory body camera that record all the police activities when involved in arrests, and to finally divest funds from the sheriff's office and law enforcement offices in our community to community-based programs that support economic well-being and racial equity. And I'm happy to help make those changes happen in our community if given the chance. Thank you so much.
Commissioners. My name is Heather Gant. I live at 10120 Fox Meadow Trail, Winter Garden. I'm also here to speak about my brother's keeper. But first, a little bit about me. I'm an Army officer veteran. My husband, Leon, is an Army officer veteran and a West Point graduate. We've been married for 24 years, and we have 2 children, Trey and Sawyer, and they're in the back of the room tonight. My family has called Winter Garden home for 16 years. I served on the Winter Garden Planning and Zoning Board for 3 years. Thank you for that opportunity, Commissioner Buchanan. Leon and I are also founding members of a program called Rise Conversations on Race and Unity. In this leadership role for our church, Oasis Winter Garden, we partner with Valencia College Peace and Justice Institute to bring education, discussion, encouragement, and unity within the community. This past year, with the support of the Roper family, we facilitated 6 workshops regarding race and racism in beautiful downtown Roper Garden building. This location was significant for us. Not only do we want to be a Christian voice in this conversation, but we also wanted to hold the conversations in a meaningful place. Downtown Winter Garden was the perfect place because we love it here, but also because there's significant history here. There's history of segregation and discrimination. There's history of racial terror. And many families within our community are descendants of that history. We do this work in order to heal the wounds of our history. And we also take collective responsibility and action for things that still need improvement. General Robert Abrams is the commander of the Combined Forces Command in the United States Forces Korea. He tweeted a few days ago that he spent a week talking with his Black service members. And coming out of that experience, he said, the pain is deep and real. These are not isolated cases of discrimination and bigotry. It is in many places. And what I heard is heartbreaking. We can and must do better. We cannot sit by and hope that they will fix it. Things will not improve by themselves. It takes action by us. We need to start here where we are. Mayor Reese, commissioners, we're here to ask you to start right here where we are by taking the pledge to review police use of force policies in Winter Garden. Thank you.
James Hall. I'll patch him through here in a moment. James, nice to have you. Okay, one sec. I'll go patch you. Hang on. Okay, James, do we have you on the line?
James L. Hall, 375 Road Court. I'd like to add, my boy, I have attended, as many of you know, a considerable number of city council meetings over the past several years. I've lived in the community for, 20 plus or more years. I've been on the road and I've been actively involved in community work. However, in the last 3 years, I have watched the new policemen brought on board and sworn in at these meetings and listened to their resume. I have seen considerable amount of resume, not only just in police work, but in other various things like social sciences and what have you. I think we have one of the best police forces in this community. And I would like to add my voice in support of Chief Graham and all of the men and women here on the police force. And the other things that have been mentioned, I think are good things. I think the community needs to have discussions and and everything, but I want them to hear that I fully support our police department, and I think they're doing an excellent job. That's pretty much what I have to say. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity.
Thank you. Okay. That was it, Chad?
That's it.
Good, thank you, thank you. Okay. Matter for our city attorney.
No report.
I gave you a thing to talk, I gave you a slip of paper.
Yes, ma'am. And
Oh.
he just offered, you had already spoken, so he's offered.
You wanna
the floor.
speak out?
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
that's for something totally different.
Oh, come on.
Oh, okay.
We'll let you.
Okay. Something
Friendly,
totally
friendly
different.
community.
Yes, ma'am. He opened the floor.
Oh, okay, because it has nothing to do with that. Again, you know who I am.
You have to say it for the record.
Oh, I do. My name's
Yes, ma'am.
Allison Painter, 393 North Lakeview, since 1968. Okay, couple things. One, are we going to keep the 4th of July fireworks? Now, I understand, hold on, I think I have it resolved. I know we understand that Lake Eola and Cranes Roost canceled theirs. We need something that brings our country together. And what better than our Independence Day? So my solution to that is, and I would absolutely be willing, sit at the farmer's market, put it out there, blast it on media, blast it on, the internet. If you want a ticket, do it as a ticketed event. Have it only for Winter Garden residents. Winter Garden residents need this. We need to have something that brings us together. I mean, the march is great, but it's our Independence Day. So, I mean, I would be definitely willing to sit and, do tickets or whatever we need to do. That's my first thing. I don't know if you guys are into that. But the next thing is, I live at 393 North Lakeview. We need to fix that road. It's not a racetrack. It's not NASCAR down there. You know, I mean, she knows, Bob knows, I don't know if Colin knows or the other gentleman, but we need to do something about it. Mike, where are you? You're
Right behind you.
okay, well, last time you said that we were gonna look at putting a roundabout or something in there.
Traffic circle.
Okay, well, this is it.
Believe it or not, there's things that transpired since and that kind of occupied our time.
I understand that, but somebody's gonna get killed. And down there at Surprise Drive, somebody is going to get killed down there. So, that's my whole thing. I am absolutely for our police department. To go along with that, I think our police department is probably one of the best police departments in the state. And, I'm for, all lives matter. Every
No,
single one
that's not the
matters. Doesn't matter whether you're black, white, gray, purple, doesn't matter.
It's only
Because
black
you're
and
all the
white.
same in God's eyes. That's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you.
Can I say something?
Okay.
Can I say something?
Now that you turned in, we're gonna move on now. Matters for city attorney.
So moving on now?
No report, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. City manager.
We've been looking at the 4th of July, obviously, and there's a few communities still doing fireworks, but several of the surrounding communities are not doing fireworks. We don't feel it would be responsible for us to do fireworks this year just because it already is packed. The neighboring communities not doing the fireworks, we would just have far too many people, and we think this year would be prudent just to put it off and wait. We may wait till Labor Day or look at another opportunity, perhaps New Year's Day, or in January or February when we celebrate the Gators National Championship next year. But what we would like to do is, we thought about this, the Masons were gonna cancel the Kids Parade on the 4th of July and the pancake. So we decided we would like to pick up that, and we as a city, we probably partnered with Heritage, they said they'd volunteer. We'll do the parade, we'll find ways to manage it and keep the good social distancing, so the city would do the parade. We also have found an old type of band to do an old-fashioned 4th of July in downtown Winter Garden, work at the restaurants to do, you know, the apple pie ice cream desserts, and then have a good band. We found I believe a jazz blues band to play in the evening, but take it and make an old-fashioned 4th of July downtown. Won't be as packed as the fireworks, but at least we'll have a good 4th of July. And I know, Mayor, you would hate to lose the parade. I can just see your face just when I said they were thinking of canceling, you weren't happy.
I know, I enjoy it.
Yeah, so we would keep on doing it this year, and then the Masons would take over in the following years. But we'd like to do that for the 4th, just to have something special for the 4th of July. But we just don't feel comfortable with the fireworks, because
Well,
you will just have way too many people.
It'd be great to do it for Winter Garden residents, but you couldn't control it.
But you can't control
You
it.
can't control
Yes.
the roads coming into town, but you just can't.
If you could, we would do it, but you can't.
And if you were the only one having? Yeah,
Yeah.
we're packed anyway, so it would be a traffic nightmare, I'm afraid. We hate to cancel it.
But so our recommendation would be to officially cancel that. I know people are looking to see a final answer.
So you want us to give you a final answer? Give us a motion, somebody.
I make a motion.
We have a second.
Fireworks. Second.
Any discussion?
2020 sucks.
I know it. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed, motion carried.
But we will make the 4th nice and special, but we will keep it manageable. And just to give you an update on where we are with programs, that we're following the